Hello and welcome to the Empower Couples podcast, where here you get modern, non-boring relationship advice for you and your partner to communicate like pros, fight smarter, and stay on the same team no matter the challenge that you face. I am one of your hosts, Aaron Freeman.
And I'm Jocelyn Freeman, but you all just know us as the Freemans.
And this episode is a motivational moment that there are no wrong feelings.
So in this moment, as you're listening, what are you feeling? Maybe you're mad. Maybe you just had an argument with your partner. Or maybe you are sad. Maybe something's going on in your family or there's a loss. Maybe you're happy. Things are going well. Whatever it is that you're feeling, it's okay, right? And we want to talk about that, the importance of feelings and emotions, because you in life are meant to experience a range of emotions. It's not that you should be always happy. Like, Aaron, let me ask you a question. This week, are you the happiest you've ever been in your life?
It's, I guess, interesting to say that I'm not. And of course, are we talking about, what do I do with this feeling of joy and happiness? No, we really aren't talking about these times that you're feeling the opposite of that. Things that you already said. Maybe I feel disappointed in my job or my career. I feel I should be further. Finances is a big one that comes up for me. A different episode probably, but I've been playing around in NFTs and cryptocurrency. And then just being in that space, I'm more open to the conversations, meaning I hear more of the conversations around inflation and recession and then markets and what's going to happen and world wars and the changing world order, like all these things in finances. So that does start to affect me. And then it has me feel like, let's say at least I'm disappointed of where I could be, right? So it's always a comparison. So when we're talking about these feelings and emotions, it's that you're feeling disappointed. Maybe you do have some regret. Maybe you are fearful. Maybe for some of you, and we've talked to a few couples, having kids is great. And the place you find yourself is, I didn't really feel like I chose this life.
Or this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Or this season right now is harder. I'm sad because this is different and I haven't been able to prioritize myself. Or again, maybe you're going through a rough patch in the relationship. But I think the key thing, like even with Aaron and what you're feeling this week, since it isn't your happiest few days, and we were laying in bed, a couple nights ago, and I'm just checking in like, hey, are you okay? You're not showing up as your normal kind of vibrant, alive self. And he shared what he was feeling. And I can't judge that. So if your partner is going through something and they aren't feeling their best selves, or maybe they're mad at you, maybe they're sad, whatever it is, you can't judge that. All emotions are part of life. I got to say it again. We aren't here in life to only experience the good and the happy. And we are supposed to experience the full range of emotions. But one thing I loved that one of our spiritual mentors told us was that emotion is energy in motion. It's just energy. It just needs to move through you. Mm-hmm. So really what we want to invite you into today is not judging your own emotions, not judging your partner's, not judging your child's. If your child is angry at you, is that okay? Yes, it's human. And so it's really about letting yourself have that emotion move through you.
Well, no, I think the first thing to be able to do that is you have to accept that that's how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. And that really is the first step, is to actually get the title of this podcast is There Are No Wrong Feelings. What you're feeling is just what you're feeling. And it gets quote unquote worse, or it feels stronger the more that you think about it. Because what are you thinking about? Well, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Mm-hmm. Oh, how do I change this? And so it really is a thing about, again, probably a different episode. You can't think your way out of something that is meant to move in the body. I mean, you can at some point, but sometimes it's what the body's feeling. And the body, a friend of ours just came over and was sharing this with me, and it really resonated. Sometimes you have to get just out of the mind and the thinking about it. And a part of how you do that is by acceptance. Don't judge how you're feeling and make it wrong. All right, this is what I'm feeling. Okay, mind, thank you for playing, but I'm going to put you to the side. And then you just, without judgment, you just let your own body feel what is there.
Yeah, it might be. And I think I said this to a friend recently, or maybe it was a client. You guys, we talk to so many people every day. I'm sometimes like, who was that? But I had said, hey, I think you need to sit down and let yourself feel what it is that's going on. You're resisting it and you're only thinking. And so, yeah, it's like sit down and feel it. Now, here's the thing though. It doesn't mean you have to take action from the feeling. And it isn't about letting your life be run by your feelings and that you act from anger or you act only from sadness. You can definitely let it be there. You can express it in healthy ways to others. We want to be sure we're not projecting it and taking it out on others. So it's a fine line, right? Like we can accept it without letting it drive every action of ours.
One, I think when you accept it, then you release some of the energy to have you react into an action. Because typically you and me were trying to act. But why? To change the feeling. Even anger, even an action from anger is trying to release that anger somewhere. But as you said, the action is not going to be very effective. So you do still have to feel it. You have to accept it. And then I think the real motivational part of this is once you do allow it to feel, and I'm going to do more of this even myself, then what happens is if you start to create a relationship with that feeling, why would I be feeling this way about finances, about my life, about kids, about my roles? It is because your mind and your body does want something positive for you. There is a positive intent, but we just don't see it. When we judge our thoughts and emotions, we don't get to, oh, I'm feeling this because I want to feel certainty. I want to feel safety. I want to feel like I'm a great provider, that I'm creating a future for my family. So it's that feeling that you can acknowledge and say, oh, well, I've been feeling disappointment or frustration or angry because I don't feel like I'm the provider or that I'm doing quote unquote well. But when you get down to it, it wants you to feel safe. It wants you to feel a good provider once again. So it's a positive intent that's getting distorted by what your mind is trying to make up about it. And then we judge that thought.
Oh, it's such a great way
So
of putting it.
feel it and then get to the root of, well, what is it that this is really wanting for me? This is here because I want to be valuable. I want to provide. And then you can let sort of the mind come back in and say, oh, that's actually not a bad thing, that I want to provide, that I want to have safety or security or connection.
I love seeing that. What I'm hearing in that is seeing your emotion, your feeling as a signal. It is trying to tell you something positive. So that's what our motivational moment is today, is to embrace the feeling, don't judge your partner's feelings, and see what it is speaking to you. What is it wanting for you? All emotions are safe. We just get to choose how we act from them. We hope you enjoy these motivational moments. As always, make sure you stay connected to us. You can always message us and see what resource would be helpful for your relationship. Make sure you're checking out our books, our courses, our coaching. We're here for you. We love you, and we'll talk to you on the next episode.